Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be another installment in my best and worst series. I have already done videos on the best and worst cruelty-free and affordable lip balms, micellar waters, and makeup remover wipes, and today I wanted to talk about dry shampoos, and these are all relatively affordable. I'd say all of them are at least within the $20 range, but most of them are under $10. I have some really good ones and some not good ones to talk about. I also am aware that having blonde hair, most dry shampoos will work for me because they don't leave like a white cast in my hair. So I did ask my amazing boyfriend to let me kind of use him as a guinea pig. One night before he jumped in the shower, I took all of the dry shampoos and I did like a patch test all over his head just to see which ones left a white cast and which ones didn't. He has very dark brown hair and it's a little bit more curly and thicker, so I can also tell you which ones will leave a white cast and which ones won't. But I'm just gonna get started. The very first brand I want to talk about is Hask. I have 4 different fragrances from them. The first 3 I want to talk about are coconut, charcoal, and chia seed. These all smell really good and they all smell really clean and nice. If I were to pick one, I'd pick coconut. I think that one's my favorite one. I just talked about this in a video about beauty products that save me so much time, and I chose this one. If I were to repurchase, which I definitely would, I would get the coconut one. These retail for $7.99 for 6.5 ounces, which makes them about $1.23 per ounce, which I think is a really great price. These are free of sulfates, parabens, phthalates, gluten, and artificial colors. I also like that these aren't extremely drying. Some dry shampoos almost dry out your scalp too much. These ones do just the right amount. They make your hair look clean, but they don't like suck your scalp dry. The only thing, and this is probably to say for any aerosol can, but if you spray it and then you stay in the room, you're most likely inhaling a lot of the chemicals that you spray out. So I would recommend, if you're going to use an aerosol dry shampoo or really any aerosol product, to spray it in your hair as fast as you can and then run out into another room and let that kind of air out before you go back in. That way you're not inhaling too many chemicals and bad stuff. But that's really my only con. I think these are really nice and I would definitely recommend these. This is probably one of my favorite. These get a 5 out of 5 stars. And the last fragrance from this brand is the Argan from Morocco. It's in the light blue can. This is a little bit different because it actually doesn't leave a white cast at all. So if you have darker hair and you want to choose from one of the Hask ones, I would recommend getting the Argan one. What surprises me about this is even though it does spray on clear, it's not wet. I find that a lot of clear dry shampoo sprays kind of leave a lot of residue in your hair and almost makes them feel like oilier. Do you know what I mean? And this one doesn't do that. It's just a regular dry shampoo spray. It just doesn't leave any color residue, which is really great. So if you have dark hair, I recommend trying the Argan one. The next dry shampoo I want to talk about is from Pacifica. It's the Invisible Powers Dry Shampoo. It's actually a powder in a spray form. I think it's a little bit annoying though, like to spray it out into your hand. I feel like you don't get a lot. It kind of just like puffs, you know what I mean? And so I feel like it would take me forever to like pump this into my hair. I must just have a big head or something. So I actually just pour this into my hands and then rub it between my fingers and then rub it into my scalp. I'm not crazy about this one, to be honest. I think there are other better powder shampoos out there. This is a beige colored powder, which is odd to me. It kind of looks like you're rubbing dirt into your hair. And on top of that, there are sparkles in this powder. And I just heard Andrea Mattiano talk about this in a video maybe a week ago. She just talked about how she reviewed this and she was so thrown off by the sparkles, and I was too. I don't like that. I think it's weird. She has much darker hair and she said that the sparkles kind of look like dandruff flakes in her hair. So if you have darker hair, I think this would do the same thing. This has a very slight fruity scent, but it's really nothing overpowering. I really like having dry shampoos that don't have a lot of scent to them sometimes, especially if I'm wearing a perfume already and I don't want my dry shampoo scent to overpower my perfume. It does leave a very noticeable like residue in your hair. It's definitely a heavier powder, I guess you could say, compared to some other powders I'm going to talk about later on. And so it's not something that you can use multiple days in a row. This is kind of like a last chance, you just need to get through the rest of the day kind of product. So I do like it for that. Will I repurchase it? Probably not. Also, I have found with most powder shampoos that they kind of leave your hair a little bit staticky throughout the day. If I put a powder in my scalp and then I would just brush through, sometimes throughout the day, my hair will feel a little bit more staticky. I don't know if that's just because of the powder or what. It's just an observation that I have. This costs $14 for 2 ounces, which makes it $7 an ounce. if you compare that to other dry shampoo aerosol cans, that seems expensive, but I feel like I go through powders a lot more slowly. I don't need as much product, and so I think it kind of evens out. I would give this a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's okay, it does the job, but it's not something you can use multiple days in a row. It has weird sparkles in it, and it's very heavy. Like, I can definitely feel it in my hair. When I touch my hair throughout the day, I get powder on my hands, so I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's the best. I have 2 more powder shampoos. These are both from Shea Moisture. They're the Peace Rose Oil Complex and the Fruit Fusion with coconut water. These both smell really nice. This one smells like roses. This one smells kind of fruity. I do like these. I carry one of these in my backpack. I think it's really great for traveling because it's just like a squishy bottle, and you can seal it. Like, you can kind of twist it and there will be a hole there, or you can twist it back around and cover it, and that way it doesn't spill or leak at all in your bag. So this is great for traveling too. These retail for $10.49 for 1.7 ounces. That makes them about $6.17 per ounce. Like I said, that's more expensive than the aerosol cans, but because it's a powder, I feel like it lasts a lot longer, so it kind of evens out in that sense. These have a little bit of a learning curve. I showed how to use these in my products that save me so much time video, and I kind of showed you like kind of puff it out and put that in your hair. You can put it in your hands. I think that's the easiest way to do it, especially if you have darker hair and you don't want these to leave a white cast, because they do have a tendency to do that. I think that these can be massaged in to get rid of the white cast. I've seen people with dark hair use these, and they can do that as long as they put it in their hands first and then put it in. I think these do remove the oily look, and they kind of make my hair a little bit more thicker. These are kind of like a texturizing or volumizing dry shampoo. These do smell really, really nice, but they are strong. It's something you can smell throughout the day, so it sometimes interferes with your perfume. And you do have to be careful. If you put too much of this in your hair, it'll feel like a noticeable residue in your hair, so you can't overdo it. You just want to start out really slow with powder shampoos. But I would still give these a 5 out of 5. I think these are really great, and I love the scents. I hope they come out with more scents because these are nice. The next 2 dry shampoos I want to talk about are from the brand Cake. I have the All Powderful, and I have the Do-Gooder. This is an aerosol spray, and this is a powder. This one does leave a slight white cast. However, they do have a light, medium, and a darker version. So if you have darker hair, you can buy the darker versions, and it should work out that way. This one is for platinum to light hair shades, so that's the one for my hair type, and I find that it doesn't leave anything noticeable in my hair. I'm actually wearing this today, and it's worked. Makes my hair look clean. This one is probably the best when it comes to texture when I'm comparing my other powder shampoos that I'm talking about. This one is very thin and very velvety and smooth. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but it kind of looks like a salt shaker. And so you can kind of sprinkle it into your hair, and I kind of prefer that way of using it. I think it's a little bit easier and faster. I do like the idea of not having like an aerosol can. Once again, this doesn't have any noticeable scent. Like, when you smell it in the can, it has a little bit of a sweet scent, but it's not like straight up cake scented, you know? And it doesn't interfere with any of the perfumes I'm wearing. I don't smell it in my hair throughout the day. So if you're looking for a powder shampoo that kind of just does the job and doesn't leave any smell or residue or anything like that, I would recommend this. I would say out of all the 3 powder dry shampoos I'm talking about today, this is probably one of my favorite. Just because it doesn't have the scent, it can go with anything, I can use it anytime, and it is so thin, it doesn't build up on my scalp as easily. And I do feel like I can use this a couple days in a row without my hair feeling too gritty. This retails for $17 for 1.7 ounces, which makes it $10 an ounce, but I really feel like it would take me forever to use this up, even if I did use it regularly. All in all, I give this a 5 out of 5. I think this is a great powder shampoo. I like that they have different shades depending on your hair color. I think it's a good product. It's a little bit more expensive, but I really think it would take me a long time to use this entire thing up, so I think it's a good investment. The other Cake dry shampoo I want to talk about is the Do-Gooder. This is supposedly a residue-free, quick cleansing, unsticky dry shampoo aerosol can, and there are a lot of things I don't love about this. I already am going to say that now. This is not one of my favorite ones. Number one, it is very heavy, and it kind of makes my hair look oilier at the end of the day. I just did a video, I think it was my If I Could Only Have One Tag video. I'm pretty sure that was the one, and I had just come home from work that day and I wanted to film, so I put this in my hair to kind of bring it back to life and make it not look so dirty, because I was just going to shower later that night, and this actually made my hair look dirtier. My hair looks dirty in that video. When I turn to the side, you can just see it in my hair. So I don't think this works. I don't think it does a good job. And on top of it, it smells very, very strongly of cake. Like, it is so sweet. I smell it throughout the day. It's almost sickeningly sweet, and I don't like that at all. This is $18 for 7 ounces, which makes it $2.57 per ounce. I think it's too expensive for what it is. I don't recommend it. I give this a 1 out of 5 stars. And I'm being generous. This isn't volumizing. It really does nothing. It doesn't even give you a couple extra hours of use out of your hair. Like, it's that bad. And unfortunately, the exact same thing can be said for the Marc Anthony Refreshing Coconut Dry Shampoo. This retails for $7.99 for 7 ounces, which makes it one of the most cost-effective dry shampoos here. It's $1.14 per ounce. It also doesn't leave a white cast, which is really great. The only thing I like about it is the scent. It has like sweet coconut, almost a desserty coconut scent, so it's nice, but it's not overpowering. However, this also leaves like a weird wet feeling in my hair. It like dries eventually, but then it just feels like really heavy. I don't know, is there a certain way I'm supposed to be using this? Because this and the other, like no residue, no white cast, like wetter formulas, just don't work on my hair at all. Is it just because I don't have the right hair type for that? Hopefully you guys can tell me how to make this work, or maybe this just 100% isn't for my hair type. Maybe it's for people with thicker or coarser hair who can kind of handle heavier hair products like this, but I just can't make this work, and it's unfortunate because it is a very good price and I like the scent and it doesn't leave any white cast, which is good, but it's so heavy. I'll put it on the night before, and then in the morning my hair will look even worse. It'll look even dirtier than the night before. I give this a 1 out of 5 stars also. I just don't think it's good. And the very last dry shampoo I have to talk about is the RenPure Solutions Coconut and Argan Oil Dry Shampoo. This is nice because, once again, it does not leave a white cast in your hair if you have darker hair. It smells good, but it's too much. Like, you can definitely smell it throughout the day and it's very noticeable, so I don't really love that too much. This does work. It does get the oily look out of your hair. However, I feel like you have to use a lot of it in order for it to like look clean again. And so it's definitely not something that you'd want to use multiple days in a row because it doesn't layer on top of itself very well, and just the smell is so much. Like, it's a lot. So maybe this is like a summertime dry shampoo if you're like at the beach, or you're, you know, on vacation, or you're just not really trying to do anything fancy and you just want to have clean smelling hair without really doing too much, then this would be good. But I think that's such a very specific example of like when I would use this. So I don't know, I wouldn't repurchase this. I don't think it's terrible. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars because it's just okay. This retails for $7.99 for 5.75 ounces, making it $1.39 per ounce. So that's pretty good. It's not too expensive, but I can't recommend this. I don't think it's that great. And that is everything I have. That was probably one of my favorite best and worst videos to prepare for because I do really like dry shampoos, and it was fun to try out different ones. It's actually the reason why I even discovered using powder dry shampoo. It's not something I'd ever thought about until I started doing research for the video. Let me know if I'm missing anything. There are so many cruelty-free brands with dry shampoos out there, and I feel like I could easily do an entire new video with new examples with how many options there are out there. So if you have any recommendations for brands that you like that you think would work for me, please let me know. I'm always, you know, on the hunt for a new dry shampoo that's affordable and works really nicely. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!